Planetary deities. Associations between deities and the 7 classical planets have remained unchanged for over 2,000 years. The names of the planets themselves derive from the names of ancient Roman gods: Sol, the sun; Mercury, Venus; Luna, the moon; Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. Most of these planetary deities are linked to one another through familial relationships. This extensive family also includes the deities who later gave their names to the planets located beyond the orbit of Saturn: Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. Their genealogy is as follows. Uranus is the father of Saturn and Venus. Saturn is the father of Jupiter, Neptune, and Pluto. Jupiter is the father of Mercury and Mars. It is interesting and significant that the 2 luminaries, the sun and the moon, Sol and Luna, were brother and sister and belonged to a different branch of Uranus's descendants. In Greek mythology, they correspond to the Titans Hyperion and Theia. The distinction between the 5 true planets and the 2 luminaries is repeatedly emphasized in the system of their correspondences. During the expansion of the Roman Empire, the Romans identified many of their gods with deities worshipped in the older Greek culture. Consequently, many qualities of the ancient Greek gods and their associated myths were transferred to the Roman deities. Thus, it is more accurate to state that the planetary gods are not strictly Roman in origin, but Greco-Roman. However, the very idea of correlating deities with the 7 classical planets originated neither with the Romans nor even the Greeks. Delving into the history of correspondences between planets and gods, we find a similar model in an even more ancient culture, the Babylonian. It appears that the ancient Greeks adopted this principle specifically from the Babylonians. By conceptualizing the qualities of Babylonian gods associated with the 7 planets, the Greeks equated them with the deities of their own pantheon who possessed similar properties and attributes. In general terms, working with planetary deities offers 2 possibilities. One can draw energy from the deities for magical operations. One can strive toward those sublime powers and abilities embodied in a particular deity. Both of these approaches are clearly represented in ancient Greek magical treatises. The first, in which a magician appeals to a deity for assistance in magical operations, finds expression in the Greek magical papyri. Signs of it can also be discerned in other works, such as the Homeric hymns. A priest offers a sacrifice to the praised deity in hopes of a reciprocal gift, the descent of divine energy. The second approach is expressed in the theurgical treatises of the Neoplatonist philosopher Iamblichus, circa 245 to 325 AD. Iamblichus taught about the soul's ascent toward perfection through union with the perfect powers of the deities. By identifying with various deities, the theurgists developed and refined different facets of their own self. Regarding hymns based on this approach, Iamblichus wrote that such an incantation by no means brings the dispassionate and pure down to the passionate and impure. On the contrary, it makes us, who are less so, more pure and imperturbable.